I go by the name of ChaseMor. And I ask you what you living for. Hey, hey. It's a crazy ass world that we living in. Crazy ass world that we living in. Better find something you can live for. You can live for. It's too easy to die nowadays. ChaseMor. Hey. Hey, tell me what
Okay, so we got artists, you know, or musician. We got graphic designer and barber.
Easy, bro.
Man of many trades. Hey, so let's start it off, man. We're here with ChaseMor, Artist of the Month for April. Man,
Yes, sir.
not over here, Austin here. Shit, man. Chase, tell us how you got started, man.
AG, you know me from school, but I was a graphic design artist before, you know, even getting real serious into this music stuff. I had always been a drawer, you know, illustrator. You know, I designed my high school graduation shirt and stuff. Everybody was for me to do that kind of stuff.
Right.
But the music stuff really happened probably starting like my sophomore year. My good friend, one of my business partners, Garrett, who I still rock with, I told him one day, you know, we had been seeing people do the talent shows and stuff at school, and I was like, man, I'm not really into all that, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty good at this, you know. And I told him once, and you know, we were just kicking it, and I just rapped for him, and he was like, yeah, you're definitely into this, like you're onto something for sure, so you should definitely give it a go. And you know, it took some time to build it all up and get the branding all done, but you know,
it does. This shit takes time, man.
Yeah,
it does, man.
I was gonna ask, so how you said, like, before obviously you started with the graphic design illustrator, just one of the kids that was always just, you know, doodling and whatnot, but when was that switch around, like what age or so, when you were like, okay, you know, this rapping stuff is kind of dope, like I think I'm cool, I'm good at it?
Yeah, I mean, it was, the art stuff was before I even knew. So I knew I was going to be into the arts because nobody in my family's into the arts. And my mom said she knew I'd be artistic in different ways when I was 4 and I drew perspectives. And yeah, so that was one that I always take with me. She was like, you know, I knew something was different when you drew something and you drew it as if you were looking down a street. And you were only 4 when it happened, and I just knew kids
that's early
like that. And then the music stuff, I mean, you know, I'm just my dad's from Belize, my mom's Chinese, so I've heard a lot of music just through the days. And realistically, it's crazy because the rap stuff, I mean, we didn't listen to that much rap in my household. We listened to a lot of Motown, we listened to a lot of soul music, Otis Redding, James Brown.
Right.
You know, even Bee Gees, anything, bro. So the rap wasn't really too prominent in my life growing up, but you know, just another way to have an outlet, and it worked beautifully.
Oh yeah.
What?
Man, I remember even back at LMU too, like you're passing out CDs, mixtapes, you know, the whole.
Yeah. Man, it was crazy. So freshman year, it really started from nothing. You know, me and Taylor had met each other in a class, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm trying to do this rap shit, but I don't really have any idea on how to do it. I have a mic, I'm kind of setting stuff up, and that was freshman year. So the sophomore year, when you're talking about the CDs, I mean, that was my second project, actually. My first project was my sophomore year, actually. And then the second one where I was passing the CDs was junior year. My first one was, I just released it through Hot New Hip Hop. And I remember consecutively, it was like in the top 100 heat seekers, like the whole project. This was before all the streaming stuff. This was like when niggas were streaming on Hot New Hip Hop. So it was like.
And that gave you inspiration. Like this is making traction and shit. So.
Dude, I was like, this was before anything could be fronted. This was before all of it. So it was like, man, I knew it was doing something when I saw my mixtape was just up there. No More Games. You probably can't even find it no more because I snatched that down real quick.
Right. But hey, when it was up, like it was moving.
It was moving. It had like, I remember in the first week, it had, you know, a couple thousand downloads. You know, it was going crazy, especially around LMU because I don't know, we were just kind of those dudes who did the art stuff. Yeah. We had started doing shows.
That's how I remember you too, and that's how we got
right. And you were doing it from the jump. Like if you said you were actually out there, like with the CDs, like yo, check my shit out.
Yeah, bro,
it's hot.
You know, we went to LMU, so it's like this. You know, there's a bunch of rich kids there, and when I did that, it was at a big thing called Combo where everybody was kind of it was like a break in between classes. And I remember it was like in April sort of, and all my friends were going to Coachella, and I didn't really have it like that. So I was like, man, I'm just about to spend this money on these CDs, and then I just had passed out like 700 CDs because I got 1,000 of them.
I'm pretty sure there's some old footage. We got to pull up some old footage of that too.
Yeah,
that's a solid amount though.
I got everything, man. I'll send you all of it. But yeah, all the homies were helping me pass it out, and you know, I definitely think of that as like a victory where I chose music over, you know, fun, and I started taking it seriously because all my homies were going to Coachella. Everybody was doing the fun stuff, and I was like, man, fuck it, I'm about to just get all this mixed how I could, and you know,
so you're trying to be playing at Coachella.
Yeah. I remember when I went to Coachella the first time, I was like, man, I want I gotta be here like behind the scenes,
man.
So yeah, I can see how you're inspired from that shit too, like.
Yeah, I can't imagine myself being in the crowds of things, really. So, you know, I have been to concerts. I've had artists pass at things, and I've seen it from a lot of different perspectives. And I'm like, man, I'm not really, you know, in general pop like that no more, because it's just not, it's not what I do. You know, I like to think of myself not as a consumer, but, you know, as a seller. So that's just how it's always been.
So I'm moving from like, okay, after getting into the, you know, actually shopping your tapes, like pulling up with all that, like what were your next moves? Because obviously now, like you taking it serious. Like if you're comping 1,000 CDs, like you
really, that was back in the day too, man. And, you know, the thing is, you know, I had seen a lot of people like trapping CDs back in the day, trying to sell them for $5. We see it on Venice, we see it, you know, in the Bay, everywhere. And I was like, man, I feel like I gotta not pay people to listen to it, but I'm not gonna make them pay to listen to nothing or to something that they don't know about. So everything was free. It was an investment in itself, but you know, I'm not gonna trap CDs like that. Especially, you know, I seen people with just burnt CDs and stuff. I was like, no, I'm about to take it real serious from the jump. All my branding's done, all my covers, you guys know.
Hey, quality is everything, man.
Right, so you already had the business mind in it, like right away, versus just usually the one who starts out, you know, it's like, oh, I'm gonna put out some music, you know, rip somebody's cover art and just kind of put up a picture. Like, no, you're like, nah, we're going to do this.
Too. Like others are gonna just expect that you're coming with that high level.
Right.
And as I'm sure you guys know, because I'll send you guys things, you know, here and there, it's constant. So this stuff, I mean, it seems like, oh, you know, it's another one, but each one is pretty meticulously planned, and it's a constant building thing. So, I mean, even my next single that comes out this Friday, Milatina, like all the artwork, all the branding, all the PR, the marketing, that's been done with for months. You know, I'm like,
I mean, everything.
It's still got, you know, the cover still got me with a bun on it, so it can't really.
That's an old Chase right there, man.
It's definitely a whole new era right now. But I mean, back to the question, Pat, you know, I remember when I was doing all that, I was handing out CDs because I'm not going to lie, that's when streaming was a thing. You know, if I had gotten in early on the streaming shit, who knows, things could have been different. But I was pretty hard-headed about it. And I was like, man, I like CDs. I know don't nobody have CDs, like a CD player, but, you know, the idea of having a physical product in my head as somebody who does branding and art and illustration and stuff, it really stuck with me. And no matter what happens, I'll probably always have CDs to accompany all my stuff, just because that's how it goes with me. So
keep you like that physical.
I like that physical, and it's just a piece of art. You know, it's more than the music. It's the presentation. It's the booklet. It's, you know, you opening it up and the disc having some crazy art on it. The background
physical,
of it.
like it's right there, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I love it.
So this is all still, again, in your sophomore year while you're still at LMU for design, not even music related, but you really like pushing your music.
Yeah, we were doing shows. I mean, there's crazy shows that we were doing at warehouses because, you know, in college, everybody has it popping in their own regard. We were doing shows at UCLA, frat shows, you know, just
even on campus too, like
student org shows, like little art shows and everything.
And are you booking these yourself?
I mean, I wouldn't go out to look for them, but people kind of knew what we did. So,
LMU is a good community to like have connections and stuff. That's one thing I really like. You know, like,
I mean, even this, you know, and even after this, I have another interview this week, and you know, our manager Matt Sutton is a senior level at Live Nation. You know, he's plugging us in ways that, you know, I don't expect. Not to say I expect anything, but I definitely don't expect a random stranger to do it. But because we
Right.
went to LMU, because of the history that we have, me, Taylor, and Matt, we all had English 101 together.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's crazy to think that 8 years later, 8 years later, you know, we still here and we still rocking. And, you know, we got some pretty big things coming up that I guess I can't leak too much until it's inked. But we got some meetings, man, about some distro shit.
Matt's been on that side of the successful side with his own band too.
Exactly.
And the fact that he's like working with you and like doing all this other shit, putting his time into you, that shows the potential you and Tay have, you know what I'm saying?
For sure, man. We're not trying to be, you know, it's crazy because a lot of people talk about how they don't want to be like a one-hit wonder or overnight sensation, but they say that, but they don't want to put the money into the right thing. So, you know, if you do have an opportunity to work with somebody who does PR, you better be serious with it, because that's a person who could be a make or break in your career. And it might be like, you know, as an artist, a graphic design artist, people want free covers, but I'm kind of expensive now. And so if you don't want to put the same type of money that you put into your mixing or your marketing or your PR or your management or even booking shows, like, bro, we don't pay to play no more. We sell out shows, but we never had to pay money just to be able to play. We did once and we ended up selling out all of our tickets in 2 days. Which was great. But even that, you know, people don't want to do that. And I don't want to do that. But, you know, at times, based on where you're at, that's what you got to do. So,
the exposure part's like, you know, you got your pluses and balances.
Man, for sure, you gotta play to play is what I say. But you know, it's not even like you have to pay to actually play, but you got to show a gesture to know that, or to let people know you're serious. Like with me, people know what it is with me. I could trade artwork with people all day, but you know, hey man, I understand it's your time. I understand it's your craft. I like to get paid for my craft. I'm gonna pay you for your craft. So AG, you know what it is, man. I'm like, hit my good mom, whatever.
We're on the same shit. Hey, and two, like being at LMU and doing like illustration and graphic design and stuff, how did that kind of like shape like your experiences and how to move about in the music industry? Because obviously the two go hand in hand, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Sure. I mean, you know, nowadays I feel like it should have always been like this, but nobody wants a one-trick pony. So people who just tell me that they rap, I'm like, man, number one, I find it hard pressed to believe that you rap better than me. And if you do rap better than me, which again, I just firmly don't believe is really like that, you don't rap that much better than me for you to not be able to hustle in some other areas. So as far as, you know, the graphic design and the branding, the web design, me already having my own store, me being able to be pitched really easy because I make my own pitch decks and come up with my own timelines that I get prepared. You know, it's all one organism that has to move, you know, cohesively. So when I think about it like that, I mean, it may have seemed like, you know, I was being passive or insecure about my art, but nah, man, because now when people see it, they're just like, oh, you've been doing this. Like, it doesn't just happen overnight for everything to be as cohesive. Yeah. So, you know, people lie, money lie, numbers don't.
And that's why your monthly listeners on Spotify are just
bro. Yeah, the consistent growth.
And it's not even it's crazy because, you know, it only goes based on 28 days. So if you had a single 4 weeks or 4 months ago, it's not really still hitting in the same way. So it's not like those numbers keep stacking on each other. They reset every single day. So if the day you just lost was a big day and you just walked into a day where you had like 10 listeners, your listeners are going to go down. But if you keep hitting the right channels, bro, I mean, them numbers stay up. I have 6 singles. I've timed them out and spaced them out in a way where I could kind of know and gauge where I stand. But now that I'm going to start hitting every couple of weeks with singles and then a project probably coming soon, I expect those numbers to go even crazier just based on how we moving.
Yeah, I mean, you guys honestly, like you said, you've been in this 8 years now and just constantly picking up speed. And I was even watching something with Tory Lanez the other day. He talks about, he's like, yo, I don't care about your billion plays or this and that. All I care about is me. If I get 1% better every year, he was like, I'm just gonna keep on climbing up. And that's so true. It's just that consistent, like you build that momentum, you beef up as you go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like this stuff scales kind of quickly. It's like money too, almost. It's like you know, it's hard to flip $10 to make 100. But once you got 100, it's a lot easier to make 250. Once you got 250, it scales up to 1,000 way faster.
Right.
Once you got 1,000, it go to 5. Once you got 5, it goes to 25. So, you know, the way that I'm looking at it is, I hope that things do still scale in the same way, but I have a good feeling that it will because of the work ethic and, you know, combining everything that we've ever learned and putting it behind every new drop. So
100%.
crazy.
Investing in yourself, that's a big thing right there.
For sure.
Time's one thing you don't get back, you know what I'm saying? So
for sure.
That time is
them 10,000 hours, man, I hear about it, but I really, you know, people don't really conceptualize how many hours it takes to really get proficient at something. And, you know, if you're proficient at rap, you know, that means you rapped a lot. I don't even think it's just the rap that you have to be proficient in. It's just about how you present yourself, how you carry yourself.
What you got to talk about, your experiences, all that.
Yeah. I mean, just the music, I don't want to say is basic, but man, if your music trash, it's like, I don't care about anything else. So it's kind of a baseline for your music to be good. But after that, you know, you have to have the supporting components behind it. So like I said, you click on my Spotify, I got my website on it. You click on my website, it's also my design portfolio and my website store. And that all links back to, you know, my socials and everything that is kind of me. So try to keep it a stack, man, and just keep it going and keep it full circle.
Just that brand connectivity.
Easy.
Yeah, so with that, so where would you say you're at now, though? You know, we've caught up to how you've been moving. I know you said you can't give away too much. You know, we want to keep it a surprise, but, you know, where do you say you're at now, just kind of how you're moving or continuing to do what you've been doing?
I mean, you know, with COVID, it's kind of crazy because the reality of the situation was in the past year, Taylor and I, R&D, Matt Sutton, A Mighty Lamb Productions, Khalil Simplest, like a lot of guys that we've been working with, we've been doing shows around Hollywood, getting great response, getting numbers, getting paid to do shows in a city that I'm not even from. And so that was a great feeling. So moving into this summer, the plan was to start something like a West Coast tour. I'm from Seattle. I could sell the show out in Seattle easily because I haven't done one there yet. Portland, I imagine the same thing. Not to say I could sell it out by myself, but with the people we were planning to take with us, that was going to be the move. Another show in the Bay Area, probably one in like Oakland, then one in South Bay, San Jose, one in LA, one in San Diego. That's a good 2 weeks of a little tour right there. And I felt like we would have gotten a good response. But of course, with COVID, you know, we kind of had to digress a little bit. But with that being said, it's still a perfect time to be releasing content because people want to see stuff in front of them, whether it be new music, new art, a selfie of you doing what you do, you know, be Pat, you in the studio right now. Niggas probably like,
hey, he's been working, I'm telling you, Pat.
Yeah. I actually got something coming in about a week or so. Yeah, just finished mastering and mixing, but same thing, bro. It's like all of us, you know, in the same mind is just, you know, it's that consistent working on it. It's that there's nothing to it.
Yeah,
hey,
man,
you you're recording out your car, like, bro, you're during this quarantine, you're like perfecting yourself, you know what I mean? We could be using this time like, oh shit, I can't do anything, I can't get out the house, I'm gonna stand and watch movies. Nah, like this makes or breaks people who are like, you know what I mean, are serious about it. And like you going out in the car, recording outside, sending me files, bro, like it just shows.
Hey, G, I mean, I'm probably gonna send you another one tonight because you know, I'm finishing up some graphic design work for a client right after that. You know, I'll be ahead. Right after that, I'm probably to the car. You know, I got a nice little tripod set up for my mic. It comes with a little isolation panel. It's pretty crazy, you know, and I got it for $50. It got me sounding real good. My car is a nice car, so acoustics is sounding good, you know, and you know, I'll be knocking tracks out. Got Logic on it. I'm good to go. AG be getting shit every other day.
So. 6 in one day, like one time.
Yeah, we did like 5 in 24 hours, like fully done. And then one I had to re-record, send it to him the next day. We did it the next day. And honestly, you know, not to say those won't ever come out, but you know, it's really like I gotta stay sharp. So I'm definitely coming out with just little interludes or little things that I put for my birthday, you know, that freestyle I put on my birthday, like go crazy,
and
man.
you're testing your artistry, you know, you sent me some melodic stuff, some like real shit you're talking about with, you know, your family growing up, like rapping, but like you're very versatile, like in terms of artistry, like from design, whatever. So that's
Yeah,
like,
it has to be, man. I love the fact that people definitely, you know, have their sound in their lane, but you know, at a time like this, like you said, you kind of have to be experimental, especially with all these feelings. It's like I've just learned from a young age how to vent through my arts, all types of different arts, you know. So it's nothing for me to, you know, try to sing some sad shit, or it's nothing to me to try to rap some really hard shit. But you know, it all just got to come out somehow, and I feel real comfortable in my car. I'll probably even after this, I'll probably be doing a lot of tracks just in my car because I like to drive out, find a little spot, you know, chill in some nature. I'm around farmland right now.
There you go.
Hey, was it you that said you had the Chaotica ball?
The what?
The Chaotica ball. It's like it helps the sound and stuff.
Oh,
like,
the little eye thing. It goes like right around the mic, right?
No, I don't. But I almost bought one of those too. I should get one of those.
Man, shout out Chaotica real quick because we need to get a couple of those real like.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, especially for what you're talking about, what you're doing. Like that's exactly what that's for.
Yeah,
You record anywhere.
All you need, bro. I'll definitely, you know, I'll send you a picture of my setup for the car right now. I've been posting on Instagram. People go crazy every time they see me rapping outside or some shit. But, you know, definitely making it home, you know, wherever you can be and wherever you feel comfortable. Because I feel more comfortable outside than I do just staring at a wall with all these pads on it.
Right.
Sound good. So I'm just trying to stay inspired and stay active out here.
All right, but still, regardless of all, like even though the COVID stuff is going on, like you said, you still got an archive ready to go. Because even for the tourists, honestly, it's only getting warmer, so that's gonna make more people want to go outside when it's really ready to go. So
yeah, I mean it's a build-up. So I mean, even then, it's like, you know, realistically, I don't know when this COVID is gonna be over. I'm probably I'm erring on the side of caution.
Yeah,
you have to.
Yeah, I mean, before concerts and stuff. So, I mean, in that time, like you said, while everybody's docile, you got to keep coming with the hits. And, you know, I definitely know even my summer is already planned out as far as what's getting released, you know, the different type of art I'm coming with and just the plans for, you know, dropping a collective body of work because I haven't done that in a while. So most people who listen to me and stuff, they definitely don't know about No More Games or Faded Off the Bluff, the CDs I was handing out, you know. So stepping into streaming has been crazy because I just did it in the past year. So in the past year, I've only had 6 songs on streaming platforms, but I definitely got upwards of 200K now on all platforms, 250 probably. But
let's go, man.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, really.
That's milestones right there, bro.
Yeah, that's my rookie year is how I'm feeling about it. And you know, again, I'm not trying to do the microwave type of feel. I'm not trying to be, you know, here for a second, run up 1 song, 2 songs, but the other ones don't do well. It's like every drop that I have is getting more and more play and more placements and everything. So I feel like
that foundation.
It'll definitely have to keep building like that. And once this is over, I mean, I feel like the people will be ready to hear it live in person too, because they'll be like, damn, you got hella music. Because I'll probably drop like between now and August, you know, probably like 10 more songs at least, just because I'll have a project ready. But you know, a couple more singles coming out, and you know, we cooking.
And these songs have been ready for a while. It's just not like you met like
just archive.
Like, bro, you know what I mean? Archer back, you know, AG, you mixed that song like 2 years ago. I wasn't hesitant about putting it out, but I was like, man, in which way can I present it that's gonna be the best? Because I can't just slap this to people. Like, people will be like, what? Like heavy samples, you know, a sound that's really vibey. Nah, I had to place that at a right time. So, you know, we got one, Snow. Like, Snow is still a cornerstone of my releases of what I plan on putting out. So it's the vault is getting huge, and working with other artists too. Like during this time, people want to work. So I got tracks with a lot of people right now. So
Do you feel like being a graphic designer too helps your relationships in that aspect? You know, like,
for sure.
yeah.
I mean, people know when they release with me, there's a whole rollout plan. There's a whole, you know, there's merch that could come with it. There's a split that we could do. There's more than just the streams. And, you know, even on top of that, you know, I was just talking to my homie Z Will. He's from Fresno. He's pretty popping, you know, and it was like, he was like, man, nah, bro, I fuck with you. Like, let me do the verse. Like, it's free, whatever. I was like, man, you know, I respect that, but it's your time, so let me know it's good with it. And also, I have a budget for what I release, so everything does have a price that I'm even putting into it. So I got respect for what you do. I've already accounted for that in my budget. So, you know, it just comes with a lot when I do start fucking with people, because I know what I have to do. It's crazy. My PR dude literally just texted me right now. Because I got a single coming out on Friday, and he's just telling me all the different placements we'll get. You know, a lot of submissions, a lot of sub-hub, Matt using different connections, you know. Everything's really going pretty smoothly. So I'm really just trying to pick up the pace right now, keep that machine going while it's on me.
We're excited to see how this keeps on rolling out, man. Because again, like really, you've been picking up steam. And that's what me and you were talking about, you know, who we think is, you know, a great artist of the month. It always comes down to the other part too, of like, yes, the music, like you said, that's the baseline. But what are you doing outside of that too? How much are you really moving? How much are you really putting into this stuff, you know, to grow a full-on career? And man, you hitting all the spots. It's just gonna keep on growing and growing.
Yeah, bro. The market, the way that things are wrapped up is half the battle. And, you know, it's kind of crazy too, because in the past year, just even the LA scene of people who I rock with, like, is just expanded so much, from dudes like Chris O'Bannon, Cypress Moreno, you know, Rosecrans Vic. You know, these are all dudes who write with like BG Perico, like a lot of dudes who are making big moves, and they all come to me for their art. So it's like, you know, Kalen, for real, like all these dudes, it's like a similar circle that we kind of all running at this point. And, you know, for a little bit, it was different because we were on the west side of LA. But even now, how I kind of branched out with the art and who I work with is like, man, niggas know when something drops, like, to tap in. So it's only a matter of time, I feel like, before something big really happens. But, you know, it be on my own time at the same time, because it's not like these niggas are random niggas. You know, they know who I am. They know what I do. They know that I've worked with their homie, and I get referrals from all over the place. Word of mouth
is the best way, like, to be referred. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. So once you get a cosign from one person, it's like, you know, the whole squad rock with you. So, you know, DJ Charisma, like, these are all people who, you know, are very close to just being some of my main people that I fuck with, because at the same time, you know, word of mouth is a powerful thing. I got a lot of dudes who ain't really trying to work like that hitting me up for some shit. And so, like I said, you know, if you're not even willing to give me a gesture, like, hey, man, I'll do some cover art for you, but send me some beats. That's what our swap could be. Or, you know, take a listen to these 5 songs. Let me know what you think, Cypress. And, you know, because of that, we build a mutual kind of respect. That's like, all right, this person's working regardless of if it's with me or not. And when it comes like that, it just makes people want to work with you even more, because they're like, all right, he's gonna move even if we don't rock with him. So we may as well rock with him. So that's how we keeping it, man.
Cool, man. Man, wishing you more success, man. Again, a happy 26th birthday, starting it out right. We got new music coming on the way, new projects. Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna go out and give me a little sip, bro. But you know, I'm a smoker, so it'd be I gotta step outside, puff in the car, and go crazy on the mic, man. That's what my routine is, man. I'm trying to stay active on all fronts. So, you know, I really haven't even been drinking or smoking like that much.
I haven't been drinking, but I've been smoking, like.
I've been a little bit. I've been smoking more than drinking, but I just got back. I was on a cleanse.
Yeah, see, I'm always smoking, but you know, when it's like, you know me, I be smoking like I kind of smoke a lot, but it's like,
you smoke that big dope, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been kind of regular for a while, but I mean, I had stopped a little bit, because not stopped, but slowed down from smoking like all day, because I would get kind of paranoid, kind of anxiety about the overall world situation. But now, you know, I definitely know how to channel that again and focus it into into something different and more positive than just being stressed out all the time. So, you know, in moderation when I need it, when I'm feeling that type of way, I definitely go outside, hit some weed, and I come back in rejuvenated, and it's like, all right, it's go time again. So, we got a lot of stuff coming out, bro. Again, like I said, I got one this Friday coming out, Mi Latina. AG knows about it. It's crazy. My girlfriend was there for it. Yeah, that's a hit. It's already placed on like 20 different it's already gonna go up because of the placements, the submissions, submitting to Spotify. We've been hitting the algorithm really well just because they're like, all right, he doesn't release a lot, but every time he releases, it's on like 50 different playlists. So it really just helps build itself because now they kind of know who I am. So, that algorithm, I'm an algorithm soldier for sure. I can give a fuck what
Instagram. Algorithm soldier.
For sure. I can give a fuck what Instagram says. I realize, your biggest support is definitely somebody you don't know, and your biggest hater is somebody you do. So it's like, I don't expect
that works out, but
it's even crazy because at the shows it'd be like, man, I don't be knowing a lot of these people, but it's like they know me from this, or they were at this show a long time ago and now they brought their group of friends and
they just support it.
Yeah, so I mean, it only really takes 1,000 loyal fans to make a real living off of it, and I feel like we're at a good point, even of the people in LA where I'm not even from, where it's like, man, I got a little buzz in LA, and I know as soon as I touch back down in Seattle, in my city, I'll probably be able to sell out a 250 person show by myself.
Let's get it, bro.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like that much, but I'm
milestones
off the muscle, bro. Like, we could get a crowd rocking no matter where we are. You could put me on a Rolling Loud stage right now, and it sounds like I should be there. So
and you got that live aspect to your shows too. That's where Matt comes into play, and that's like, and you guys bring that energy in general too. So
yeah, I mean, practice. I don't want to say practice makes perfect because you're never gonna get perfection, but we practice. We have rehearsals that are like, we know cues, we know different things. And Matt again is a magician, and so the higher up we go, it's like the more pieces we get to incorporate. We got dudes who want to play bass for us, but I'm not really like. I still need my beat to thump. I don't want to get drowned out, but it's. We got pieces that when we want to use them, we could use them. When we need to book a show, when I need to book a show in Seattle, I already got 3 people trying to book me because they're like, yeah, bro, I see what you do in LA. So you bring that to Seattle, easy, and the ticket over there is a lot cheaper than LA. It's a lot less pressure because it's like, niggas already know, there's like 5 places you could play in Seattle. In LA, there's like 500, so any given night, some of those places could be popping. Any given night, some of those places could be dead. But in Seattle, if you get one of those, people are finna pull up because that's what time it is. So I'm just looking forward to being able to get back on stage, putting out more music, and showing people what the fuck I do.
Yes, sir.
Cool, man. And so where can people find you?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm real easy. You can find me anywhere at ChaseMor, ChaseMor. No E in more, but more is more. So you can type anywhere, and I'll probably be the first person to pop up because nobody really has that name. So that's another good thing I got lucky with is I get picked up pretty easy because the name is pretty
unique,
good by itself. Yeah, ChaseMor in one word. So it's pretty easy, man. I can't lie. It's going pretty smooth right now.
Well, keep it going, man. We see you do your thing, man. But any last things you want to let people know? What you got going on? Any last words?
Man, connect with me. I'm a real easy dude to talk to. I'm a real easy person to work with. I get your shit back to you fast. And I don't want to say I'm addicted to work, but I'm committed to this shit. So
no, we addicted to it.
Yeah, I feel like when I can't do it, something is really off. So that's why I went to LA, because I'm in the Bay right now, staying with my girl. But I made a trip to LA to grab all my recording stuff. I brought 3 laptops up with me. I brought everything. So it's like, that got to move with me. That can't be somewhere where I can't access it. I can't just.
That's your oxygen. That's your lifeline.
Everything has to stay on me. Everything got to stay with me. And, progress. You know, it's crazy, but during this recession, I do feel like there will be opportunity to come up, and I'm definitely trying to position myself to be one of those people. So in whatever type of facet it is, so we're definitely moving in all types of ways.
Well, cool, man. Well, thanks for rocking with us. Artist of the
Of course,
month,
man.
April 2020, ChaseMor. You heard it. Check him out. This,
Oh man,
you already know what it
Things
is.
coming,
You guys
man.
saw the whole thing. It's about to be lit. This boy's coming.
It's definitely going crazy soon.
Yeah,
man.
but
Thank you guys.
So yeah, we wishing everybody, you guys all stay safe, you know, stay active, just keep moving on this bizarre time, but you know, we're gonna make it out.
Nothing but hits, man.
nothing.
Yes, sir. It's
Peace.
nothing.
All
All
right.
right, fellas.
Hey G, hit me later, bro. I got you. I'm about to text you some shit right now.
I got you, man. Hit me up.
All right, bro. Be good, you guys.
Let
All
it
right.
rap, hey, hey. Lifestyle repack, hey, hey. And this bitch from the Bay to LA, ayy.